My name is ideafarm. That's actually my legal name, and I am think of me as a software craftsman. I also was educated as an economist, and I was raised with a Christian upbringing. These three influences have resulted in me spending my life pursuing a vision for humanity that can be described as a non-religious, inclusive community worldwide that promotes unselfish living. I have the opinion that the fundamental problem in human society today is the loss of the unselfish ethic, and that this is the essence of all of the major world religions, is to promote unselfish living. My intention or my vision is to extract the moral message from religion and promote the moral message in an inclusive manner that is not religious but is friendly to religion, so that you can be a religious person and at the same time feel comfortable cooperating with me or being involved in my vision. I'm asking you to sign this petition because most of my personal effort has involved writing complicated, a very large software system that I envision as a tool that can enable people worldwide to turn my vision as they understand it and as they modify it into a future reality for their children. And this software system is a general purpose computer operating system that has the same functionality as Windows or Linux, but it's not Windows and it's not Unix. It's an entirely different vision. It's an entirely different technical vision that's based on my reaction as a young software developer to what I considered the insanity of the industry and the corporate-driven society. So I'm not anti-business or anti-corporate. I am an economist after all, but I am a critic of our economic system, and this is my response to what I see as wrong. So I'm asking you simply to sign this petition. The result of the petition is going to be, as I explain in its text, that I will collect your email addresses and basically retain them until I have 64,000 of them. And every time I receive every 1,000th signature that I receive will result in me selecting one email address at random and then verifying that it's not associated with a bot. I want a real human being. I don't need your name. I don't need any money from you. I don't need you to do anything or volunteer anything or help me in any way other than I will take that one email and I will send, after verifying that it's a human, I will send it a copy of one of the 8 pieces of the source code for IPDOS, the operating system that I wrote, the full name of it, which is IdeaFarm Piggyback Distributed Operating System. It's piggyback because it's designed to sit on top of another operating system, which means that you don't have to boot it. It basically just installs like any other application on your Windows machine. And I anticipate, if I live long enough, to, over the next year or two, port it to Linux as an open source project. So the ultimate goal is to release it not as conventional open source, but as a copyrighted open source product that is owned by, quote, the future generations of Idea Farm City, unquote. So there's documentation involved, and I explain all this further later on. But the basic idea is that this is legally my property, but my own intention is to release it to the ownership of future generations of this community that I envision you all will help me start. And so when that takes place legally, I become a mere trustee. And so those future generations own the rights to this software. And our job, those of us who are living today, our job is to preserve it and to develop it for them as trustees. So that's the basic concept. It's kind of a in-between stage between a purely private property, asset, intellectual property, and a public domain open source asset that is not owned by anybody. It's kind of an in-between thing. And I'm asking you to help me preserve it so that it doesn't get lost. I'm a political activist. I'm a civic activist that's actively fighting local government corruption here in Mountain View, California. I'm going into court tomorrow for sentencing on some minor charges, but those minor charges could actually result in a significant imprisonment. And I'm going to be 60 years old this year, so I'm at the age where I have to seriously plan for the possibility that I will die suddenly or be killed or otherwise incapacitated, and through some unfortunate random chain of events, my whole life work would be lost. I've been almost at that point several times in my life. It's been a sort of a harrowing experience to just get this product finished, and in other words, I've almost lost it several times because of just things that happen in life. For example, at one point many years ago, all of my creative work for my whole life existed on one computer, and the hard drive failed, and I had no backups, even though I was diligent about making backups. For some reason, my discipline had slipped just at the wrong time, and I found myself in a situation where I had no backups, and all I had in my hands was a hard drive that had crashed. Fortunately, I was able to pay a company some money and get that hard drive fixed. So I'm basically asking you to sign this petition to put an end to this risk that all of my creative work will be lost if something happens to me. And I will not disclose your email address to anybody or send you marketing information. The only thing you will receive from me is information. I will contact you only if I need to contact you in order to arrange for you to safekeep the piece that I want to send you. So thank you for listening to all this. This was an unrehearsed recording. I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to prepare for the hearing tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I might be away for a long time, or my attorney and I might succeed in keeping me free so that I can continue to develop this petition and to get at least a portion of the source code up on GitHub. I don't even know how to say GitHub or GitHub. I'm an old guy, and the technology has changed so quickly that I've like everybody else, I've kind of been blown away by it, and I'm quite excited by what the young people are doing today, and I'm struggling to kind of familiarize myself. I feel like Rip Van Winkle. So part of my isolation was intentional. I isolated myself intentionally in order to maintain my ability to create something different, and I think that I succeeded beyond my dreams. IPDOS is truly different, and I can't wait to have the opportunity to introduce it to you more systematically. Thank you.